Good morning, League fans. Coming to you from chilly Hull. I'm trying to sound upbeat, but the fact is I'm pretty tired after the weekend I had. You've got Steve Mascourt here, and on Saturday I was in Amsterdam to see Rugby League claim some new territory. It was a venture by the other team from Hull KR, and they took their pre-season game against York over there. What was it like? It could not have been, I don't think, more impressive, actually. It was brilliantly branded. The logo was everywhere. The colours were everywhere. Even the microphone was branded that they used for their social media posts, Hull KR. There was a great night the night before. Jared Warrior-Hargraves got amongst it in Amsterdam, meeting all the fans. And the players, York and Hull KR players, they flew in and out, as is the way things are on this day. But a lot of people from Hull KR were there the whole week promoting it. And they really took over the venue, branded the venue in the most professional way you can imagine. It was an entertaining game. The young Hull KR team were worn down, I guess, by older, more experienced York side. York picked up some injuries, which isn't good because they're likely to meet Hull KR again in the Challenge Cup. But for me, I got in on Thursday night, crashed, then worked in the morning, and you heard me do one of these shows from over there, and then went to this function at the at Belushi's in town there. I stayed out by the airport, and it was about 32 euro each way in the Uber into town. From the venue to the venue from my hotel was only 16 to 18 euros, so that was good the next day. So I had a little night out, still home by 8. I'm becoming grandpa on match eve because I knew I had a busy day and I knew I had a busy weekend. And then it was a 10 o'clock flight back across to Manchester. Picked up the car, which was parked in the suburbs in Manchester, so I caught a tram there. Filed from the tram for League Express, and then it was across the Pennines to Leeds, following Wigan and Warrington around during the pre-season for NRL.com, and that was freezing. My God, Leeds and Wigan, and Wigan losing for the first time in 169 days. But the big story there was Maika Sivo, the Leeds big import, who big in many ways, big in terms of expectation, probably big in terms of pay packet, and certainly just big. But he suffered a knee injury of some sort after a great try that Zach Eckersley scored for Wigan in the first half. It's the only try that they scored, 22-4. They were beaten, Wigan. So that was a big story there with scans today for Maika Sivo. So during the show today, we're going to take you back across the North Sea. One of the videos I might have called it the channel. I believe it's across the North Sea is Holland. And we're going to hear from Clint Goodchild, Clint Goodchild, apologies, the owner of York, Clint Goodchild. We're going to hear from Adrian Morley, who was there. I won't spoil why he was there. He can explain it to you. We're going to hear from Daan Van Rossum, who is the president of the Netherlands Rugby League Board, who proposed to his now fiancée, because she said yes, as he points out, on the field at halftime. And we might get a little bit of Danny Ward, just a little bit, the assistant coach who was in charge of Hull KR during the day. And then we'll come back across to this side of the North Sea, and we'll hear from Brad Arthur and also Sean O'Loughlin about yesterday's match, and that will more than fill up our hour. If we could squeeze all that in, we'll be doing well. Now, let's quickly go through the birthdays that I'm grateful for. This breaking news from Rugby League Project, who provide these birthdays, do a great job. But there's a column here that says year born, and then it says year died, and I can report that Queensland first Ipswich Toowoomba and Queensland seconds player William Beavis turns 133 today. Happy birthday. He's done well. He's done very well. He's seen a lot of technological changes, a lot of changes in society in his 133 years. But that aside, Dennis Ward, who we lost in 2021, great Australian international. It's his birthday, so I guess to his family and friends, it'll be a hard day for them today because it's quite recent, 2021. The great Mike Stevenson, 78 today. 78 today. Losing my voice, all this travel, airline cabins, etc., etc. William Kennedy, 56 today. William Bubba Kennedy. Here's a big one. Bradley Clyde, a 94 kangaroo. 55 today. He's a year younger than me. Gene Namu, who I watched play for many teams. Manly, South Sydney, the Warriors, Huddersfield. 51 today. Dion Bird, the Paris Saint-Germain star. 49 today. Peter Cusack, big Roosters prop, and Souths and Hull FC. 48 today. Matt Diskin, the hooker, English hooker. 43 today. Dean Hallertau, who I last saw in Vegas, works at the NRL now. West Tigers, Canterbury, New Zealand. 42 today. Vince Mellars, Warriors, Cronulla, City Roosters, Crusaders, Wakefield Trinity, Featherston. 41 today. Ben Teo, he's been around and now he's in the coaching caper. 38 today. Who else have we got? Anyone else of note? I think we better leave it there. That's more than we normally announce anyway. So, and plus we've got plenty to squeeze into this hour. Don't forget, if you're listening on the podcast, this is on a radio station, rugbyleague.com, 24-hour rugby league radio. And if you're listening on rugbyleague.com, this is on a podcast. White Line Fever Kicks, WLF Kicks, is where to search for it in your favourite podcast platform. Okay, on with our weekend review. Started by asking Clint Goodchild, this is before the match on Saturday at the Netherlands Rugby Stadium, what the origins of the match were.
Yeah, I got a random call from Craig at Hull KR asking if we'd be interested in taking a pre-season game overseas, and we met for a coffee and he sold me the vision. Project Windmill, I think he called it at the time, and we love to embrace anything that's new and different, and bringing the game to Amsterdam seemed like a no-brainer, and I'm glad we did.
Does it, in this sort of new era of IMG, does this sort of stuff have more value than it did before?
Oh, I don't think so, mate. I think it's just the right thing to do for the sport. If that contributes to an increase in IMG recognition somehow, then great. But realistically, it's just about taking the sport to new frontiers and trying to do it justice.
Is it one and done for York, or are you looking to maybe do something like this yourselves in the future?
We'd love to be a part of this for the next few years. If everything goes well today and they're not sick of us, then hopefully KR, invite us back again next year, and we can create, some kind of pre-season rivalry and build something together. They're a very progressive and free-thinking club as well. So I think there's a lot in common.
You're fielding a pretty strong team, and their team's kind of fringe first graders are. Is the result important to you guys today?
No, not really. But I think getting a good hit out is. This is our only pre-season game of the year. So for us to get some time with new combinations, particularly in and around the spine, we're more interested in how it comes together than the end result. But it's also an obvious thing to say once that whistle's blown and the ball gets kicked, everyone's competitive, aren't they? So, no doubt it'll be a good contest.
Adrian, can you tell us what you're doing here?
I'm here representing Rugby League Cares, so I started a new role with Rugby League Cares a couple of weeks ago, and it's an exciting prospect. It's something I'm very passionate about. It's working mainly with the welfare of the players, current and ex-players, so that's my role here. But this is very exciting as well to be part of the first game of Rugby League to be played in Holland and in Amsterdam is great, and hopefully they can get a good crowd and they can get a bit of a following and start the game over here.
What's the most obscure place you've been for Rugby League? Is this it?
I actually went on a tour to Morocco when I was an amateur, so we got picked for Bala, which is the British amateur under 18s, and we toured Morocco, so that was very unusual. But yeah, that's the most unusual place I've played rugby league, but this is great. You know, you wouldn't expect to watch rugby league in Holland. So as I say, hopefully it's a success, and hopefully we can get a following here and a bit of excitement and a bit of let's hope we can get the footprints of rugby league over in Amsterdam.
Before you go, can you tell us about efforts to kind of restart the Players Association?
Yeah, so I mean, there's been a Players Association up and running for a number of years, but it's never really took off. It's never got to the level we wanted it to in terms of support from the players. So we're trying to revamp that. I mean, I know the Players Association in Australia is fantastic. We're using that as our blueprint, really, of how it should be run in the UK. So that's part of my role. I'll be the Rugby League Cares representative on the board of the Players Association. So we're going to get around to all the clubs and fly the flag and just get the information out there, what we can do. And as I say, once we get the backing, it's we need the players to have more of a voice and more of a say in how the game's governed.
And here's a few grabs from Danny Ward, who's the assistant coach at Hull KR, after his team's 26-12 defeat at the NRCA Stadium in Amsterdam. As you'd expect, the first question is just about his general impression.
Yeah, we expected a tough test, and we certainly got that one. You know, York played really well. There was hard to break down. Some lads really stood up, I thought, and had a good cracks. Some others, it was a good challenge for them to play at that level, some of the younger fellas, and a bit disappointed overall with how many points we conceded and the ease of probably some of them tries that we didn't just back up. Defending his goal line, you know, they seemed to score every set that was down now 20 for little periods there. But for the first hit out, it was good. You know, we looked fit, we looked strong, dominant in collision, which is what we wanted at times. But yeah, just a little bit scrappy, just couldn't get that consistency going, and his attack was we made a few too many headers, and we're back to back with headers as well, and we got that header penalty, and that was disappointing that we didn't have a little bit more control in the game. It's been great, yeah, from the moment we arrived on the bus today and watching the games going out on the field there, you know, in the crowd, the local crowd there, and speaking to people. It's been a fantastic event, and seeing Hull KR and York fans. Plenty of them made the trip as well, and it's been a great event, you know, and a good crowd. I thought Brownie and Aribi started the game really well. I thought they were strong, and we wanted them to try and win that battle with the opposition pack. And I thought we had some good D there. We got for his line and put some whack on and stole some meters at times. I thought Bill Leyland, that was his first game in 12 months. We just took him off just because I thought he'd played big minutes and he'd probably not played that amount of time. I thought he was good. Some of us outside back, Lee Kershaw had a good game, carried strong. So there was some good individual performance there, but I think as a team was a little bit clunky, which is fair enough for your first game. As attack wasn't as fluid as it could have been, but you know there's plenty of time to work on that. Pretty much the same as we've been doing. They've still got this week that'll be normal pre-season week, so the boys working hard. Then they've got a weekend off. But yeah, we'll review that and look at the areas that we need to fix up. Obviously we've got some lads to come into that team. We'll add a little bit, and obviously different combinations that we need to just keep on working on training. So it's all, you know, just building week by week, and we'll learn as lessons from that. Find the areas that we can keep chasing and being good at, and just keep working hard. I think so, and we knew that going in because the boys, you know, they train really well, and this was a great opportunity for them to go out and play. First time to put the LKR shirt on in 2025, and like I said, a few stood up, and there's some headaches around team selection. You know, I keep saying we've got some good strength in depth for the whole team, and we wanted lads to keep challenge, so we've got them headaches, and I think we'll have a few going into the cup and into round one. Yeah, I think it's fantastic. Yeah, I mean, certainly ask the fans if they've had a decent time in Amsterdam. I'm sure they'll say yeah. I think it's great. I think, you know, we want to be branching out. You know, we always say we've got the greatest game in the world, so let's get around the world and show it off, showcase it in places where we can grow the game. So it's only been good for the sport. No, I'm easy. Maybe a little bit warmer than Amsterdam. I was surprised how cold it was when I got off the plane. And I thought I'm going abroad. I thought, oh, it'll be warm. It'll be flip-flops and shorts weather. But yeah, it was colder here than it was in Hull this morning. Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah, maybe like for a 2-week, maybe like a 3-game series or something in Dubai. We'll really push for that one, I think. Yeah.
And I just wondered, did you have any? You weren't here long enough to have any experiences, or you got any stories that you'll tell about the trip when you get back that you can share?
No, nothing. We were literally flown in and out. It's probably a safe bet, and we've flown in today and come. But yeah, you might have to get into the fan part there, see if anyone's got any stories from the fans. That's probably a bit more of an interesting chat than I've got. You can show you the 4 walls of an airport and an hotel room. That's about it.
What do the club tell you guys about the objective of the trip? Like, you know, what do they tell you about why you're here? You know?
Yeah, just to grow the brand of OKR and grow the game. They've got a game that's trying to grow in the Netherlands and support that and then grow that and the brand of OKR to try and get that around. And they was real clear with the objectives from the start, from telling us about the planning of. It was real clear from the top of why we was doing it, so the boys bought in and wanted to come out here and put in performance as well. So it was clear objectives of growing the band and growing the game, and hopefully we've done that.
Now, in a lot of parts of the world, league and union don't get on, but they seem to get on okay here, so much so that the boss of the rugby league proposed to his girlfriend at half-time.
Oh, really?
So, on the middle of a rugby union field.
Oh,
so
romantic,
it's nice to see the codes getting on something.
That's fantastic. There's no reason why we all can't get on, is it? It's two great games and played different times of the year. It should be.
So here's the man himself, Daan Van Rossum, and he proposed to his, girlfriend today at half-time.
Fiancé now. Fiancé now. She said yes, so...
Why'd you decide to do it?
Well, for people that know me, know that rugby league means everything to me. Family, friends, super important, and rugby league is like the second best thing to that, you know, like. And I had them all here today. Also, she has a little bun in the oven. I'm expecting a little girl, so a Dutch lioness in 18 years, hopefully. So yeah, I thought it was the right thing to do. Like this day means everything to me. She means everything to me. So 1 and 1 is 2.
What a great story. What's her name?
Inga.
Inga. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And how did you think today went, Dan?
I think in general it went fantastic. Like there's always things that we need to improve for next series. I think one thing our women's origin needs to step up, but the girls enjoyed and had a good game. I think our men origin was a decent level, great game. Unfortunately, my side lost, but he said there's room to improve from that. I think the main event was fantastic. I can't thank Hull enough for the effort that they put in and how they go and do their business and putting rugby league on the map in the Netherlands. And it's for people that know me, I've been in this game for almost 20 years now. When we started out 20 years ago, we had to scratch to get 13 guys on the field for a national game. And now this is 2,500 people watching rugby league in the Netherlands, and probably 500 probably never seen any form of rugby. It's fantastic.
Did Inga obviously had no idea you were going to do that today? No. And was she happy about the setting?
I think so. Yeah, she came from a soccer background. Since she met me, she completely dove into the madness, and she's completely fanatic about it. She watches my Storm games. Melbourne Storm is my team. She goes with me to the Super League games, to Hull KR every single time. So she's a Robin as well. So she loves this. And yeah.
And is it right that Hull KR have an option? They might go to another European capital. They're definitely back here next year. Tell us about that.
I can't speak for Hull.
Yeah.
I think we're going to do it here a couple of more times. Yeah. We want to conquer the Netherlands. And I think after that, whole Europe is open. This game is the best game in the world. But we don't market it properly. It doesn't have the market it deserves. Initiatives like this help with that. So I think LKR is a club that sees it, and that more people watching, more people playing means more talent, means more money, and that's what the game needs.
Is the next step a comp game here, or is the next step a Netherlands team in the British pyramid? What is the next step?
How about a magic weekend? You know, I'm a dreamer, so I like to say crazy shit before everybody else thinks of it, and then hopefully, lucky that we go right. But now we're in this beautiful stadium here. Who says in 5 years, in a decade, we can't do a magic round in Amsterdam Ajax Arena?
Yeah.
I mean, man, if nobody thinks of it, if nobody dares to say it, it's never gonna happen. And dream big.
What are you going to tell your daughter about the day Mum and Dad got engaged?
Ooh, that's definitely the best question I've had so far. I talk a lot of stuff, but you found me lost for words.
Yeah.
I just hope, she's going to do in life whatever she wants to do. And she would make me extra proud if it's rugby league, obviously, but if it's not, then that's also okay. But this day is super special for us, and I hope at least there's enough media around, so there should be footage, so she can watch it back. No, exactly. No,
it's actually really in the blood now.
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
Nice to see you after corresponding for so long.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and nice to meet in the flesh, and I hope you enjoyed it. Rugby league in the Netherlands.
Had a great time.
Thank you, man.
Congratulations! What a great day for you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Let's move across the North Sea now, and we're in Leeds. Maika Sivo has been hurt, and the Rhinos have beaten Wigan 22-4 in the Ash Hanley testimonial. And the first thing Brad Arthur was asked about, of course, was Maika Sivo.
Look, I'm not a doctor, but he'll have to have scans tomorrow. We've just got to hope for the best. So they got to rule out, all the possibilities around ACLs, MCLs, whatever. So just got to have a scan.
It was knee.
Yeah, it's his knee. Yeah, so look, have a scan tomorrow and just hope for the best. Yeah, look, I'm just pleased for Ash. At the end of the day, it's nice for the club, it's nice for Ash, but the game doesn't mean anything really. It was just for both teams to get some run in the legs and get some, some work physically and get their bodies bashed around a little bit and hardened and. We did that, and the conditions sort of played into that sort of game where it was just a bit of a bash and barge. I liked our reaction or response, our positive response to a couple of ill-disciplined moments. A couple of penalties out of red zone, and then another back. On that there was another penalty, and then we defended our line for 4 or 5 sets. So they had to revert to a kick, and it was a good try. But so that pleased me that our reaction. In response was good to some negative things that we done instead of just dropping our heads. We just got on with it. Yeah, but like I said, our response to it was really good. So in hindsight now, I'm actually happy that those things happened to see how we did respond instead of waiting until we get into a game and our response is poor. So we can build on the back of that. But yeah, there was just a little bit of ill discipline at times. But when you're playing right on the line and pushing the boundaries, that's what happens. Yeah, it's good. It helps them 12, 18 months down the track. They know now they can go away and what they've got to work on and where they're at physically, and it helps shape their next pre-season. And that was the idea behind it. They've done a bit of training with us, so it was good to reward them with those opportunities too. Yep, the things that I liked about Jake's game is then there was some stuff from the first game. Everyone's talking about how good he was in the first game, but I actually was disappointed with some of the stuff that he did effort-wise and defensively. But today, he was, he probably wasn't as flashy, but he done a lot of good detail around his job as a fullback. Yeah, look, he's positive. He thinks he's got rubber ligaments and bones and, he's made of rubber. But, yeah, look, it's only speculating. We've got no idea until he gets a scan. But he's walking now, which is good. Yeah, look, and we wanted to see where we're at physically. Both teams, I'm sure we'll go away and there's plenty to work on, and both teams will be happy with where they're at physically. So, look, it's a trial match. Doesn't count for any points, but look, at least it gives us some things to go away and look at what we need to improve moving into round one. Oh, look, I'm new to all the systems and how things happen over here, so I'm just rolling with it, and out of respect to the whole competition and the Challenge Cup, and our mentality around, I want our boys to try and have that winning mentality where they go into every game. We're not going to win everything, but every game, but we need to go in with that mentality where we're trying to. So, out of respect to the West Warriors and the competition, I'll be picking a team. I'll be doing it smartly, but I'll be picking a team to go and win.
Finally, a very quick grab from Wigan assistant coach Sean O'Loughlin after that loss, 22-4 to Leeds. And that's the end of today's program. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, physically you're always happy. I think you want to win games. Everyone always wants to win games, but we know it's not what pre-season games are about. You want to win them, but that's not necessarily the priority. I think for the boys, what we've in coming from Christmas time, this is their first day out, so it's probably physically just getting used to getting bashed about a little bit, stretching the lungs out, and getting used to getting hit and hitting other people. Which I thought it was a pretty physical game. I think when the weather's like it is, and it's not as flowing, the physicality normally steps up a little bit, which I thought it did tonight. And it probably wasn't the most entertaining game, but I think it ticked a lot of boxes for us from a physical side of things.